Next tonight, Ram raiders are targeting cash points all across the Midlands. Laquista Barak has been looking closer into this crime wave, but also what's being done to tackle it.
Co-op stores have been particularly hard hit, but the retailer is determined to fight back. They've teamed up with a forensic technology company to ensure the criminals and the stolen cash are marked and traceable if their cash point is attacked.
For the communities that we serve, we believe the ATM is another service that we offer. One of the reasons why we always put them outside the store is so they're always available. And the truth is that if people want to get to an ATM and want to do something, unfortunately, they will find a way. But we think this is fantastic technology that really is being an active deterrent for the communities that we serve.
Well, to find out how this new technology might deter criminals, I've travelled to Telford in Shropshire, where it's already being used to help solve crimes. I'm meeting the inventor, Phil Cleary, and Superintendent Tom Harding. So how's SmartWater actually dispersed when somebody tries to attack an ATM?
We have a number of methods, and we keep the actual process confidential for security reasons. The clue's in the name, actually. It's a water-based solution which has a unique signature in per location. And this is the critical link the police need to be able to tie a criminal back to a particular criminal incident, be it a burglary or an attack on an ATM.
So if a criminal comes into contact with this water-based liquid, now loaded inside many ATMs, it contains a unique forensic signature that can be traced back to an individual crime scene. What's more, it stays on the skin for weeks and it can't be removed from clothes or the stolen cash. So how difficult or easy is it to secure a conviction?
Well, all of my officers and all officers across West Mercia actually have a torch with them, a UV and LED detection torch. So they may well have already checked the individual with that torch out in the community.
Go on through, chap.
They will then come into the custody block here, where they are taken separately into a UV detection room. The lights are switched off and a UV light comes on, a very powerful UV light. That will show up any UV marking. Obviously their item of clothing will be seized, and also we will potentially swab their face, feet or hands. They will obviously be interviewed about the offence, and the fact that the presence of SmartWater was there will be put to them in interview. That's the point at which they often find it incredibly difficult to come up with a story to explain away why they're forensically linked to that particular crime scene.
Sergeant, this gentleman's been arrested on suspicion of theft from an ATM. It's for a prompt and effective investigation, and he's further been identified by SmartWater as we came through custody.
Now, we've been following cases across Leicestershire. Are you experiencing the same thing here in the West Midlands?
Yeah, and nationally they're completed by organised criminals that will travel the country, so we can't look at it in isolation in the West Midlands or the East Midlands. Actually, it requires a national approach to tackle this problem.
The Co-op say the pilot programme using this forensic technology has been a success, showing a 90% reduction in ATM attacks. Matt, do you think businesses are taking this sort of crime seriously enough?
I think as we've seen more raids, and obviously this has been highly publicised, both locally and nationally, I think businesses are realising that there is an issue here. It's fairly clear from the patterns that we're seeing at the moment that the ATMs are in very vulnerable locations, which are very appealing to criminals. So I think a lot of thought has to be put into where the ATMs are actually placed to try and stop the likelihood of a JCB, for example, being driven into an ATM.
Well, I'm back here in Market Harborough, where this story started several months ago. It's taking a lot of time and considerable effort to clean up, to rebuild, and most importantly, to ensure that the public still have access to this service. Well, since we began filming, Leicestershire Police have formed a dedicated team to investigate the recent spate of ATM attacks. And this month, 3 people were arrested and charged in connection with the raids in the county.